Yo, what is up, guys? It is the man in the candy, Super Pigman here today with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some more Kenshi lore. But before I start this video, I do want to ask you guys a personal question. Are you guys into like sports stuff and like things like that, you know, just into any type of sport? Because I've been thinking that me and my friend might start doing this thing where we kind of have like a little talk show type of thing, you know, like maybe like an hour long, like kind of like a little podcast about pre-game stuff, like at least every single day of the week or something like that. I don't know, it's just something I kind of want to do, you know, talk about sports and, you know, different, you know, sport teams and different sports and stuff like that. I'm really into football, so, you know, and I'm a huge Chiefs fan, so this would probably be something cool that I would want to do. But without further ado, let's get into the Kenshi lore video. So today we're going to be talking about the swamp and the whole entire lore behind the swamp. Now, believe it or not, the swamp is relatively new, and what I mean by this is that the swamp is about probably, you know, maybe 10,000 years was when it's barely started forming, you know, around the first empire when it fell. Now, let me give you guys a little history lesson. You know, at Obedience, that shit fucked up the climate. It ruined it. Like, legit, the climate was so bad that it caused oceans to recede and it killed nearly everything in, you know, the near area. But, you know, let's talk about the swamp. Like, the swamp really wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Obedience, right? Like, Obedience was what created the swamp. Now, the swamp is a pretty cool place because, you know, I can go into the history about kind of like most of the factions there. Now, I'm not going to go into like all the criminal factions that are there. Let's talk about the Red Sabers. They're kind of, you know, hated. I'm pretty sure it's the Red Sabers. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be looking stupid when people are watching this video, but it is probably the Red Sabers. I'm most likely sure it is. I'm just like trying to remember off the top of my head that they are the most hated gang by all the other gangs in the swamp, and trust me, they aren't nice people either, so I get why they hate them. But, you know, they are kind of, you know, they recently had a fallout. You know, they haven't been disliked by that much, but they recently had a fallout with the big top dogs of the whole entire area. But, you know, the coalition of the Yangs is kind of an interesting thing because, you know, they all contribute towards, you know, all their surpluses of money and the way they make money and all that stuff like that. But, you know, if we're going to talk about the lore, we have to talk about what the Holy Nation is doing in the swamp, because, well, the Holy Nation, they're kind of just, you know, kind of there. And the real interesting thing is, you know, the Holy Nation's been around for a long time. Kind of like ever since the fall of the Second Empire, which is quite about 1,000 years ago. You know, we're kind of off on the timeline because, you know, earlier theories and stuff like that. But the Holy Nation have an outpost there. Now, the question is, why do you have an outpost there if you're not going to invade it, right? That is personally my question. When did they set up this outpost? Why do they have, you know, two really high-ranking troops there that are just kind of watching over, and they're like, oh, you know, watching over the entire thing? Because if you really think about it, why would you watch over the swamp? There really isn't anything there. And you can even look at how the tech hunters approach it, because the tech hunters, they reside in World's End. World's End is pretty much you know, a tech hunt, or kind of like a machinist tech hunter faction controlled, and the tech hunters are all the way over there, and they send, you know, about, I think, 3 dispatch groups, or 3, you know, people, or 3, yeah, it's 3 expeditions, and they sent 1 veteran with a couple of newbies, and they get completely destroyed. Literally only like 3 of them return. And then, you know, it's kind of the same with the other ones. And they talk about, like, you know, the swamp is a nice place, but everything here is trying to kill you. Like, there's no point in trying to, like, civilize this area because everything's trying to kill you. Now, this would be a perfect place to go for, you know, let's talk about how Mongrel is kind of where, you know, all the people that are wanted go, but also the swamp is kind of a good area because everything there is actually trying to kill you. Now, I don't know what caused, you know, the whole entire, you know, blood spiders and stuff like that to live there, but the tech hunters do not send any expeditions out there anymore because they don't want to lose any more troops. They found out in the first 3 expeditions, they even tried setting up an outpost there, like an actual, like, little base area, and it failed because they could just not survive the oncoming attacks. And I think also bandits would raid them too. I'm not sure on that one. It's, you know, in the text in the game, there's a whole entire story about it. But the thing is, why do the Holy Nation have an outpost there. Now the Strike are really not interested. They're only interested in the Bugmaster. Even after that, they're not really interested in the swamp, and the UC doesn't really give a fuck about the swamp. If anything, the swamp is making them a lot of money because of the Hanish that they produce. That's also another thing. These like criminal organizations or coalitions are pretty much like a goddamn cartel in the game, and I don't know if the reference there is good or not, but hopefully, like, you don't go out and start your own drug cartel in Kenshi, because that shit's hard work. Trust me, I tried it. Anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy this lore video, and before I let you guys go, I am gonna make, a Bugmaster theory, type of video, and I'm also gonna make a Kenshi retrospective video. Now I don't know how far I'm gonna space these two apart. I know the retrospective one's gonna take a little bit of a while, probably take me like 2 weeks or something to make. Hopefully you guys can't wait that long for that type of video. If anything, just leave a like and subscribe. It always shows me that you guys appreciate it. Peace.